to the usual tyre-to-tarmac GT racing. With Gran Turismo 2, Polyphony Digital had increased the lead over its competitors. If rival companies were to battle the GT franchise, they would have to produce a drive-em-up of the highest calibre. Unfortunately, Gran Turismo's developers were never ones to rest on their laurels, and they decided to move the goalposts again. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec started as a next-generation update to the series. Originally titled GT2000, the game missed its PlayStation 2 release dates by a year and is now set for a summer 2001 launch. So what can gamers expect from the third game in the massive selling series? Well, first up, take a look at the darn thing. Just as the original game pushed the PlayStation 1 to breaking point, so this sequel showcases the visual delights the PlayStation 2 is capable of. Gran Turismo 3 only features around 150 cars, but each car is modelled using thousands of polygons. Whereas cars in the original two games would have taken an artist a day to design, for the PS2 version, this increased to approximately 2 weeks. Such was the level of detail being implemented in this latest version. The sound of each car has also been digitally remastered to take advantage of the PS2's superior audio hardware, and a couple of new tracks have also made it into the mix. Company Microsoft are well known for their flight sims, and blooming good and accurate they are too. Well, now they've done the same thing with trains, so get ready as the assassin dons his anorak.
Men with beards and anoraks rejoice, because Microsoft, creator of the notorious Microsoft Flight Sim, semi-official most boring game in the world for the last 10 or 15 years, have now turned their hands to creating a game on rails and have come up with Microsoft Train Simulator, probably the most detailed, the most realistic, and the most frighteningly dull piece of software ever to grace the surface of our planet. If you've ever rubbed shoulders with some of British Rail's finest, you might have thought that the job of train driver involved absolutely no talent whatsoever. But pick up Microsoft Train Simulator and you'll find it's actually quite a deep and involving task, and sometimes involves extensive amounts of brain power. What you get here are a variety of painstakingly recreated train tracks and trains, and the game boils down to having to meet deadlines, do things according to the timetable, and sometimes even having to undertake missions. Microsoft Train Simulator simply looks absolutely fantastic. Sure, there's no explosions, zombies, alien worlds to gawp at, but the trains here are unbelievably solid and look absolutely sharp down to the tiniest detail. And that goes for the landscapes surrounding them as well. Not only do the trains look fantastic, they handle absolutely spot on, and the selection of trains has been carefully chosen to glad the heart of those who we laughingly refer to as enthusiasts. The only bad point about Microsoft Train Simulator is essentially that it is Microsoft Train Simulator. It's basically a big game about trains, and you're going to be extremely bored. We hate to resort to cliché, but Microsoft Train Simulator really does do exactly what it says on the tin. It simulates trains. If you like trains, you'll probably like to see them simulated. If you don't like trains, you're probably not willing to shell out your hard-earned to see what you see every morning on the way into work.
And stay tuned for part 2, because the assassin will be scrutinising Kirby's New Adventure on the N64. That's the end for part 1, I'm afraid. We'll see you soon.
The gaming industry has moved to a new level.
It's bigger than film, it's bigger than music.
Everyone's looking for the next big game
It's enormous.
and the latest trends.
If people take it seriously, then there is money to be earned there, clearly.
Join the battle with designers, publishers and developers and find out what makes them tick.
I personally can't wait to get my hands on an Xbox.
Players tonight at 7:30 on .tv.
Still to come on Game Over, our top 5 sniper rifles, and games legend Warren Spector talks to us about Deus Ex on the PlayStation 2. But first, if you're still waiting for Metal Gear Solid 2 to come out on the PlayStation 2, and you're having trouble with the demo, then here's our guide to playing it properly in the Game Over Bootcamp. The Metal Gear Solid demo isn't the hardest game in the world to complete, but part of the fun is uncovering all the neat touches in the game. Today we're going to take you through some of the best. First up, on the main title screen, you can pan around the Washington Bridge area using the right analog controller. Also, when you communicate using your codec, it's possible to move the 3D heads and zoom in and out using the analog and L and R buttons. Near the start of the demo, position yourself between the two air vents beside the wet cardboard box. Now wait for a guard to walk by, then give him a punch kick combo. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Talking of the cardboard box, try this. Jump into it near a guard. When he comes to investigate, keep tapping the square button on your pad. When the guard moves the box, you'll grab him into a chokehold. Snake has a new roll move. Try it whilst on the stairs for a nasty surprise. If your health bar is low and in the yellow zone, find a quiet place and crouch. You'll start regaining energy. Very helpful. Now some fun with the lockers. Get Snake to punch and kick the locker doors for a surprise. Hold open the locker door with the poster of a scantily clad female. Now alert any nearby guards and then hide in a locker. The guards will search for you, but will be distracted by the poster and stop looking for you. Also, try contacting Otacon while hiding in a locker for a funny conversation. Snake can interact with just about anything in the game. Take out your gun and try shooting objects like ice cubes, pot plants, magazines, and the plasma screen. Now that's a quick way to do £5,000 worth of damage. Lastly, some cool tricks with stun grenades. Try throwing one behind the ship bar for explosive results. Secondly, throw one into the ship's larder. Strangely, the resulting explosion will knock out any nearby guards, but you will still be fully conscious. Storm's great game Deus Ex was hailed as one of the gaming greats on the PC. Well, now it's on its way to the PlayStation 2. But if you're expecting a straight port over to the console, then boy, are you in for a big surprise. At a glance, Deus Ex looks like any first-person shooter, but if you try to play it like one, you'll end up dead fast.
Deus Ex is a game that was designed to cross all genre boundaries. I mean, it's a role-playing game, that's true. It's an action game, that's true. It's an adventure game, that's true. It's a game that's all about letting the player express him or herself minute to minute as they play the game.
So what's the story?
You're a character named J.C. Denton, who is an anti-terrorist agent working for an agency called UNATCO. And you go out on jobs for UNATCO fighting terrorists. But as you go out and do this, what you start learning is, the terrorists don't seem so bad. And the people who are giving your orders are asking you to do things that don't seem quite right. So it's a little bit of, X-Files and Mission Impossible and James Bond all rolled into one.
PlayStation 2 owners will finally be able to play the game, but it's not just a straight conversion.
At the surface level, the PlayStation 2 version is different in that we've redone every character in the game. Instead of 500 polygon figures, we've now got 2,000 poly figures. Instead of hand animation, we've got motion captured movements. We re-recorded some of the music with a real orchestra, which sounds really cool. We redid all the cinematics, and those are obviously looking a lot better. We did those in-engine on the PC, and now we've rendered them out in glorious detail. So we've got some great flame effects and explosion effects and things like that.
And of course, being ported over to the console means the interface had to change too.
We've now got an interface that's much more streamlined, control scheme that's much simpler and more intuitive than on the PC version. I mean, what's intuitive about, I press W to move forward? What? I press X to crouch? What? So now you just pick up the controller and you start playing. It's really pretty cool. And you can access everything you can do in the game right from the gamepad and on the main game screen.
But will console owners accept what's seen by many as a PC game?
Some console gamers might not be happy about what I'm about to say, but one of the things I'm most proud of on the PlayStation 2 version of Deus Ex is we got Deus Ex on the PlayStation 2. Given all the awards and acclaim and great reviews we got, I didn't really want to go in there and make a lot of changes. What we wanted to do was take the Deus Ex experience and bring it to a new audience.
Deus Ex should make its debut on the PS2 in time for Christmas. And now for our top 5 sniper rifles in the collection. Got him. At number 5, it's the semi-automatic sniper rifle from Unreal Tournament. With a variable length zoom, it's the perfect weapon for getting that vital headshot. Finding itself at number 4, it's the sniper rifle in No One Lives Forever. As you can see here, it's got a decent range and it's capable of fatal body shots, making it easier to conceal your whereabouts. It's also got a quick reload mechanism and isn't too loud, making its place in our top 5 well deserved. A bit of a change at number 3, it's the sniper mode in MDK2. With a fantastic range of zoom and multiple sniper tools, this game boasts one of the strongest telescopic sniper modes around. As well as being used to pick off your enemies, you'll have to use this mode to demolish unreachable locks and activate faraway switches. A good all-rounder which deserves its mid-table posting. At number 2, it's a contender from the Deus Ex camp. Now, rather than letting you have an inhumanely steady wrist, you'll have to pick your shots wisely through the realistic juddering sight. The ability to improve your sniping skills to result in a steadier grip also makes this a worthy contender. After all, practice does make perfect. And thundering in at the number 1 spot, it's the one-shot wonder Rhino rifle from Counter-Strike. Even taking a body shot from this one is going to result in the game over screen, both for you and for anyone unlucky enough to be standing behind you. Do be wary, however, of the ear-splitting bang it causes. It's a dead giveaway of your location. And for more games info as usual, don't forget to log on to tvchannel.co.uk/gameover. Nintendo's character Kirby is cute, but is he a sucker for punishment in his new outing on the N64? Well, here's the verdict, straight from the assassin's mouth.
Just when everybody thought that Nintendo had just finally gone all adult and from now on they were just going to be making games about squirrels with swollen genitals and huge piles of dung, here they go and go all kiddie on us again and bring back their 8th ranked or so hero Kirby, who's basically a lovable pink blob who sucks in lumps and spits them at people. The gameplay here is pure platformer, but what they've added to the basic Kirby recipe is the ability to suck in more than one thing at once and then to combine them to spit out different kinds of power-up or to transform Kirby into a lightning bolt, an ice skater or a whole variety of different power-ups. Kirby 64 is one of those cunning little games that tries to fool you that it's in fact 3D, whereas once you start playing you realise it's purely two-dimensional. Kirby's on rails, so you move left and right and the gameplay maybe swoops around big curves, maybe even goes up and down, but basically it plays two-dimensional. Graphics, they're solid. Kirby looks lumpy, solid. Everything else looks kind of lumpy, solid, but really they're nothing special. The N64 should be drawing a pension, and basically graphics like these have been well upstaged by some of the newer consoles on the market. Kirby's satisfying to play, there's an absolutely excellent learning curve, and the addition of a new complex layer of power-ups for Kirby makes it slightly more interesting than his 2 previous outings on Game Boy. Kirby 64 is aimed firmly at the younger gamer, and while it's quite satisfying even for us oldsters, you will find that there's a certain problem to this. It's over in about 3 hours. Kirby 64 is real old, traditional, old-school video game fun. Unfortunately, it's old-school, traditional video game fun that's over in a couple of hours. But if all you're looking for is something to rent from Blockbuster, have a bit of a laugh with, you can't go far wrong with this.
Right, that's it, time up. Matt Couple, game over. Untitled.